Alright, so, oh my god, it's been a long time since I did this. Hey guys, uh, what's up? I think it's a little broken. Alright, shit. Shake the table. Okay, so, jeez. Hmm. Alright, so opening the script. Alright. 3, 2, 1, action. Hey guys, what's good? Welcome back to the channel. And I have to say, I have been gone for longer than I thought I would, but that was due to some issues that have. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, and thank you all so much for tuning in today. So, if you've been wondering where I've been gone, just know that there have been a lot of things that have gone on in the past couple of weeks. I think it's bordering on a month now that I haven't posted, but we're here. And in the little time that I've been gone, it seems like the internet has almost undergone a sort of revolution. And if you aren't really aware of this revolution, let's just say that it starts with a C and ends with a P, and it's all about controlling what people hear, see, and do on the internet. So, in the time that I've been away from the online space, it has just been that whole revamp. So these are the, I would say, five major topics that I'll be covering in this video. And just here, stay tuned to. So these are the major topics that I'll be covering today. They tend to border around these five key points, but still, I believe that everyone should be informed about this. So the first and biggest one that has probably died down by now, but I think is still important, is the Epstein files cover up. Now, if you don't know Jeffrey Epstein, the guy that owned an island that was famous for its sex trafficking scandals, and a lot of rich people were involved in that, but he somehow killed himself, quote unquote. So after the Trump administration claimed that they had the files and all that good stuff, Trump decided to wake up one day and say that the files don't exist. Now, who are we to say that the files exist, the files don't exist? After all, they're the ones that have the files, and they're the ones that at the end of the day will determine whether the files will be administered, whether they will be released to the public or not. And if they want to hold it back, who are we to stop them? Because at the end of the day, none of us are in government or in the US government. But obviously, there's going to be a lot of backlash from that because, it's a lot of people's families and people's, children that were involved in those kind of scandals, and people want to seek justice. So they take it out on, the people in charge of handling such affairs. Now, the reason why I call this a cover up is because we know that there's a Jeffrey Epstein. We know that he had popular friends. And we know that things that were not meant to happen on that island happened on the island. Now, why ever they do not want to disclose the information of those people that were clearly involved and would obviously have been clearly documented, because you don't run such a kind of operation and just sweep it under the radar like you're not keeping track. Why they don't want to disclose that information is purely up to them. Now, everything else, who knows? But then that's cover up number one. Or rather, censorship topic number one. That is censorship topic number one. Now, censorship topic number two is the UK Online Safety Act requiring ID to use online viewing. Censorship case number two is the UK Online Safety Act requiring ID to use online services and potentially viewing encrypted messages. Now, if you don't know what the Online Safety Act is, the Online Safety Act has basically been touted by the UK government as the one size fits all solution to children viewing bad things on the internet. And what do I mean by bad things on the internet? Basically, porn, violence, and any of those other bad things on the internet. Now, you think that them regulating these websites would be kind of good thing, but the way that they went about it was basically you have to identify yourself if you want to use these websites, and if you're not above the age of legal, well, if you are not up to the age of viewing those kind of contents, I mean, there's no right age, but then if you want to do that, you do you. But then if you're not up to the age of doing that, then you are blocked basically. So that's basically the whole thing. To just prevent children from seeing it. Now, the thing about this stuff is that obviously there are better ways to go about regulating what children see online, aka just teaching parents what and what not to allow their children to see on the internet. But then no, they decided to involve everybody in the UK into this big whole debacle of give us your ID or else, do this or else, collect people's IDs or else. And the thing is that obviously they want to identify people so they can obviously track them. But then that's the thing with human built institutions. Who's to say they won't overstep? Because they're already overstepping currently. I mean, all the protests that have been going on in the UK for the past couple of weeks, just because they don't want the Online Safety Act to pass based on their new, is it minister or prime minister, case time also. So it's basically a case of do this or else. And they don't want to do it because it is not, there is no there's no backing feature behind identifying yourself, because the government knowing who you are does not stop you from doing things that they don't want you to do. It's just that, oh, they know who you are now, so all the more reason to just find you and probably put you in the bag and take you off to some island or something like that. But we won't know these things because the UK now is just posing as we want to protect the children. If the children were to be protected, there are many, many ways that could go about it without infringing on the rights of everyone. Now, the thing that is making this even a more pressing issue is that they are making other companies follow this rule. So this is not even on the part of just the internet users. This is on the part of internet companies So now online organizations like streaming services like YouTube, Spotify, and all the rest have started integrating the tracking services that they already have into, more blatant ones like ID collection. So it's now, if you don't use your ID, or if they determine that you're not old enough to use their service, like either ID yourself or risk getting kicked off the platform. And that's where people have an issue, because at the end of the day, how does having my ID out on the world wide web for whoever and whomever to access? Because let's be real, these companies that they are mandating to collect people's IDs have faced data breaches time and time again. So now that your full identifiable information is online, if a breach should happen, that means your identity is compromised. Someone can steal it, use it as their own, and they'll come to your house one day and say, "Look, you were involved in so and so crime," and they presto, false identity cases will just skyrocket. Anyway, just let me know what your thoughts on that topic are in the comments. And that's it for censorship type topic number 2. Now, on to the next topic. There's an organization, a very infamous one, very notorious, called Collective Shout. And their case is Collective Shout has held Visa and MasterCard in a very tight spot to censor games they deem, you know, unsavory. And when I say unsavory, they just mean like basically not safe for work games, like adult games basically. So if the whole debacle with them has basically been they have picked out their agenda. God is bad. The issue with Collective Shout is that they have come together as an organization. I don't know what kind they are, non-profit or for profit, I don't know. But they've come together to basically say that we don't like the kind of mediums that depict women and children in exploitative mannerisms. That's basically their whole message. And they've taken it upon themselves that if they can't actively attack the people that make these games, then they'll just attack the payment processors to then attack the people that make these games. So it's basically been a whole cycle. It's a whole cycle of just biting someone's tail, who bite another person's tail, who bite another person's tail. And so far, for the better part of a month, it has been working, because there have been a lot of games that have been delisted, a lot of people losing sources of income, and a lot of very unfair practices that bring to light just how monopolistic Visa and MasterCard are in the world. Now, if you don't know what a monopoly is, it's basically when one company has way too much control over simple things just as common as buying and selling. Like if you wake up one day and you start seeing one product on every shelf, every mall, every store, that's a monopoly. Like if you can't see similar products except that one product, that's a monopoly. And in the online payment world, just know that Visa and MasterCard are the top two players. Like, there are others, there are others that basically operate, but then those ones are more limited to their countries. And then the thing about the payment processors is that while you may be, while you, the thing about payment processors is while you may be a bank or a customer or if you are going to make any transaction, they are going to be the ones to authorize that transaction, aka they are the ones that say yes or no. And if someone is holding them by the neck to say no to these transactions, and they're like, it doesn't fit whatever brand and all that, and they start saying no, that's a lot of people who are not going to get their stuff processed, or that's a lot of people who are not going to make money. Now the issue is obviously, as censorship has always been about, when will they start crossing the line? And they've already started crossing the line by tampering with people's means of income. I mean, at the end of the day, some people will say good for them, they shouldn't make porn games, but what if it would not cut this pattern? So some people would say Yes, they should ban all these adult games. They're not adding any value to the society. Now, the thing about issues like this is that people don't tend to care until it affects them. Who knows which organization will wake up one day and say, I like what this company is doing, banning games. Let's try and ban something else. Something potentially religious, something potentially financial, something potentially just think of a facet of human life that tends to have even one strand of controversy. And someone may wake up one day and say, let's work to banning that. And at the end of the day, you see that it's just a can of worms that it opens. And the last but not the least topic, Roblox banning and threatening child predator catcher with legal action for catching actual predators. Now, if you don't know, which I'm sure a lot of you don't, but Roblox is a multi-billion dollar company. When people hear the word Roblox, they think kids game. Now, when investors hear the word Roblox, this is what they think about. Yes, the company is actually that valuable. Now, it consists of video games that have different experiences where young children and adults can come together and play. Now, the problem with this company for the longest time is that their platform has had the nastiest case of free roaming child predators among among companies of its own set. Like, it's true that many companies may have like predators in the sense like in Hollywood or all these other big facets industry, whatever. But Roblox is basically their playground. They run wild and free, and before any action is taken against them, they're basically almost dead. So the thing now is the one guy that was working to make this platform safer. His name was Schlep. The guy was making content about catching these guys, caught six of them, and he has a good track record of keeping those people off the platform. Now Roblox, obviously they didn't like what he was doing to their brand image, and they decided to send him a cease and desist to stop what he was doing, and then they effectively banned him off the platform permanently. Obviously, no one is going to be in cahoots with that, because why are you banning someone who's catching actual predators of your platform instead of the main predators that should be banned in the first place? So that has caused a lot of backlash and rebound, and they've basically gone out of their way to make sure that this guy's name does not stay on the platform. Everything that's been made about him, ranging from games to cosmetic items, have been facing a whole series of bans, and it's just been, why is it happening? Obviously, to protect brand image, but then it shows where Roblox's priorities lie, and that's with profit over safety. And if you know the internet, no one really wants that or wants any of their children to be involved in that. So if you happen to know a child that's into Roblox, just check what they're doing. You do the needful and be there for them so that they don't get involved in shady characters like that. Anyway, that's all the censorship topics so far in 2025. Now, if you have any more topics and all that, obviously you can drop your comments below in the comment section. And uh, a special, got this part. So a special announcement for those who have made it to the end of this video. So first of all, thank you for watching. Hope you liked the video. If you did actually like the video, then if you are new here, you can also subscribe. And I've been going through it through the motions, trying to make better videos and all that. I've actually not posted for a while because I've been taking on learning video editing. Now, you won't know how hard something is until you have to actually master the process. And it's not an excuse, but then it does take time. Juggling work and all this. So expect more videos in the future. But till then, I can only promise that I will keep showing up no matter what. And thank you for watching this video. Uh, like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. And stay safe on the internet because 2025 is the year of censorship. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
Peace.